Hey hunting family, you are tuning into the Tracks and Tackle podcast, brought to you by Menser Outdoors.
Hey there, hunting family. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Tracks and Tackle. Today we're going to be diving into part 2 of our fantastic interview with the one and only Justin Barrick. Last week we talked turkey hunting and heard some incredible stories from Justin from this spring. This time our conversation takes a delicious turn and we start talking about game recipes. We discuss preparations for the upcoming whitetail season, and we dive into the art of bow hunting as well in this talk. So whether you're looking to up your culinary game with some wild game dish ideas, or you're just getting ready for deer season like the rest of us, this episode's got you covered. Justin's wealth of knowledge and passion for hunting truly shines through, and you're not going to want to miss a minute of this episode of Tracks and Tackle. Sit back, relax, and get ready for another thrilling ride with Justin Barrick. Let's go.
In my phone, because we took a bunch of pictures, and I had a screenshot when I was FaceTiming my dad, and the two girls are just standing there looking at each other, and they're like smiling and just like the joy, the cool experience it was, and they can't even grasp.
They don't know. They don't realize,
but still in that moment, the joy that they had, it's.
I've been hunting 30 years with my brother, and I can count on less than this hand how many times we both were successful on the same night, regardless of what we were hunting. So when it happens, when you have success on the same day, it's something to celebrate. It's a big deal. And when you have that type of success early on, you don't realize the value of that, or at least I put a lot of value on it. I know last year we had a good day hunting together, and it might be another 20 years till we have another day like that.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll be just a couple months.
Right.
So
but yeah, just the raw emotion. Like, I don't know. I've seen two of my buddies doubled up sitting in a blind, and me and my other friend, we were out on some trails and just coming back and just seeing the smiles on their faces. They're carrying their birds over the shoulder. Like, you just don't forget those moments and how awesome it is. But yeah, that's crazy. You can't see. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat here listening to this story. That was a good one. But yeah, definitely one years past you're not going to forget. Hopefully the girls don't either.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's. When I'm old and can't remember much of anything, that'll be burned into my head.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like we were talking earlier, just even about, with work and everything, finding the time, making the time, and you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what it's going to turn out to. You can get up at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, and, start your day, and it could be a bust. And usually it is a bust, more times often than not. But, when you have the success and then you get to share it with somebody, I like what you said. If I'm going to go hunting with somebody, I want somebody to be hunting with me, and I know we do a lot of all day sitting, and even thank God for the invention of cell phones. So, sometimes you wish you didn't have them, but you're just sitting there all day long, just having, a buddy that, he's just on the other ridge, or he's just, a couple 100 yards away or whatever. And you got somebody that you can sit and text and have a little bit of a conversation with. It makes it more enjoyable at the end of the day, doing this sort of thing together with other people.
Yeah, I agree. What I really want to know is you've harvested plenty of birds in your turkey hunting career. I'm sure number one, you got your go-to meal to make, your cuisine. But I really want to know is you had, some birds this year, if you played around with a different recipe and if you found if it worked or not.
No, we didn't try anything really Oh, no, okay. So turkey breast. I mean, everybody. I don't know how everybody makes their breast, but I think a lot of people marinate, stuff like that. We were making one of the girls one of the breast from one of the girls we were having my mom over, I think for Mother's Day, somewhere around Mother's Day. And I was actually in the supermarket, ran into a family friend of ours and was talking to her, and I was grabbing some Italian dressing and or something to make this dinner. And I told her we were having, she said, you got to try some French dressing with your Italian dressing. All right. She told me she had some chicken somewhere that they took like a Catalina red French dressing, mix it with your Italian dressing, because we've always just done Italian dressing.
Yeah.
So that's what I marinated the chunks in, the mixture of the Italian dressing, and we've done it a couple times now. I mean,
it's good.
It's fantastic.
First meal. Now you met my wife. You know my wife.
Mm-hmm.
First meal she ever made. Now this is before we were dating. First meal that I ever had that she made was like a chicken marinated in Catalina and some honey and a sweet Catalina sauce. Mm-hmm. I thought, man, good night.
Yeah.
Here we are, 20 years later, and she had me. So yeah, I can attest to that. That marinade.
You were a skinny man that day.
I'm not the man that I was
very
today.
Skinny, and now here you are, it's still working.
And this is paid for.
That's right. I tell people, you don't wake up like this. It's
a lot of work.
We worked for this. You don't just wake up this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So you tried yourself a couple of something new.
Yeah, that was the only thing we really tried. We really like what we do.
Yeah.
Breast is that's how we usually do it, and the kids like it that way.
Your go-to is what, Italian?
So generally Italian dressing, but now at least with the turkey, there's always going to be some Ken's Country French in there.
Yeah.
Mix. But our big thing, the girls' favorite meal. Everybody loves backstrap, but if you ask Lily tonight, hey, make whatever you want, especially out of our freezer, they like the turkey legs and thighs. Kind of said it at the end last time. Like, I was always told you keep the breast, you throw everything else out. The legs, like, it's just, I'd always heard they're tough. They're,
They got a built-in handle, though. I mean, they got a... I don't know. I've got nothing against the legs and dark meat in general.
Yeah.
But those legs have a handle built into them. So
yeah. So I forget what recipe. It might have been like Meat Eater or something like that. Carnitas or something like that. I don't know what it is, but crock pot with the legs and thighs for like 9 hours or something like that. But they cook through stages. Like, you got to get through the rubbery. Like, there's a rubbery stage, and that's the problem. Like, you think you cook them long enough, they're still rubbery. That's why you chew on it. You never want to chew on it again. But you got to cook it. You got to keep going. You're not there yet. First time we made it, because I was like, I don't like throwing stuff away. There's got to find a way.
Yep.
So put it in the crock pot, 8 hours, not done. 8.5, not done. 9, not done. 9 hours and 30 minutes. Like, it started to finally. But then what we do is we shred the meat off the bone, all the thighs and legs, and then dust it with flour and just flash fry it real quick in some oil. Okay. And then I don't know what recipe they do. What we do is we'll make rice. We eat a lot of rice, and then vegetables, cut up vegetables, peppers, onions, mushrooms, and stuff, and like the girls will just eat it right, broccoli, make some broccoli. They eat it right like that. Now, I like Chinese food, so I'll make like an orange chicken sauce.
Oh, that's
put it over top of the rice and the meat. And it's fantastic. I mean, even warmed up, a lot of that stuff's not good, like warmed up in the microwave the next day. I'll eat that stuff for 2-3 days, and It's fantastic. I regret any leg or thigh that I never. So that's our go-to, and it's hard to get away from that.
At camp, what we did them in the crock pot, and then you can pull off all the tendons and stuff, so it's less chewy. So yeah, tastes delicious. We made turkey tacos, and you put all your fixings and your fillings in. It was good.
So we make carnitas with pork.
Okay. Yep.
And so we'll do like a pork roast and cook that thing down in the crock pot. And then over rice and black beans, and good night, man. I mean, it's another one of those go-to meals that's just stick to your ribs. And so trying it with turkey is intriguing, you know.
And it might be one of those deals where, pork's pork. Okay, like you eat a good ribeye, and then you eat backstrap. I'll take backstrap anytime.
Yeah,
but you eat a good ribeye, and then you eat backstrap. Like they're each going to have their thing, but ribeye's made to, so pork. If you're used to eating a pork, it might be different. But we've never had that way. We just have the turkey, and it's fantastic. Season it right, and it's really good. That you get a little bit of a crisp from the flash frying with the flour.
That's what sounds intriguing to me. That and a little bit of the orange sauce. That sounds really good. I'm getting hungry sitting here talking about it.
We'll probably be having some of that next week sometime.
We're going his podcast. We're going to wrap it, and we're going out to eat. So, hey, so what do you got? What do you got on the schedule here? Like, what's in the next couple of months and things? What do you got planned out for the upcoming fall season?
As far as hunting, deer season right around the corner. We hunt Maryland, and I'm actually my one brother has hunted in kind of a Maryland lottery park system type deal the last couple of years, and so my other brother and I got in that with him this year. We're actually, I guess, the drawings this week, and then next week we'll find out if we got drawn and where for and all that. But excited for that. Like I said, really, it's about just getting what we need in the freezer to not have to buy red meat.
How like what time of year do you get serious about scouting for deer?
Scouting? I mean, I don't. Or
you got your property, you got them patterned.
I don't hunt our property a lot.
Yeah.
I hunted some, but our property is. I hunt way more state land in PA than I do our property.
Okay.
Because it's closer. Our property, it's good. We have deer and stuff, but it's a nightmare. The wind is terrible. The wind is just always swirling, and we have 50-ish acres. A ridge that we have about half a mile on the front side of that ridge, but we touch a dozen properties that gets hunted. So, I mean, you don't have to look for posted signs to know where the 3-corner is. Just look for, our line, and then the ladder stand sitting here facing this way, and the ladder stand 10 yards away, the deer facing that way.
That's the property
that's
line.
the 3-corner.
Back to back
that's
ladder stands.
It's chopped up on the back of us, and it's good hunt. But I get so frustrated because you go up there, and even when you think things are right, the wind's just it shifts, and you can't beat that.
Right.
So
they'll beat you with their nose.
Yeah. So we have our places on state that we hunt a lot. Honestly, we go out. We'll go out and look for mushrooms and stuff like that. When I'm out doing that, I'll look around a little bit, but I don't make any dedicated scouting runs. And that's the other thing too. Like this thing here, I don't know what that is. I see some bucks, but I don't buck hunt.
Neither do I.
For me, every year I have legal bucks come underneath and, decent basket racks and stuff, but I just rarely ever see a buck that I'm okay shooting, and I'm fine not shooting one, but I don't hunt places, we talked about the first time. If you've got a good place to fish, you're going to like fishing. If you got a good place, there's big bucks, like that's going to be your thing. For me, hunting deer, I love bow hunting. Absolutely love it. but I'm usually trying to shoot does to get the meat. I'm not
I like younger
opposed
deer.
to it.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly like younger deer. I mean, because they're tender, they taste better, less tough meat, that sort of stuff. So
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, deer like that, I'm sure his back straps were just leather tough. So I wouldn't even bother with that guy. They get too big and the meat's
Let
just
'em
way
walk.
too tough.
the,
Yeah.
the key, yeah, let them walk. The key, I think the key is with big deer. And certainly the older that they are, the tougher that it is. But you want to drop them. You don't want them running a bunch after you shoot
Yeah.
them because that adrenaline and stuff pumping into their meat, like that impacts the flavor of the meat as well.
It absolutely does. We had a doe that was hit, and I had always heard that. I did not believe it, but we had a doe that was hit. I had a buddy call me like 5:30 in the morning one morning. Hey, there's a doe laying 100 yards up the road from your house, head still up, and like I mean, broken back. Like she's not going.
We've been through a trauma.
Yeah. And who knows how long she's been laying,
Yeah.
she's been laying there like that. And I never want to see a deer. You never want to see, like, we love these things, and
Yeah.
that's suffering. It's a lot of suffering. And I know you're not allowed to put them down. There's the law and then there's the right thing.
Yeah.
And so I put her down, and of course I'm not going to let her go to waste. And it was the worst deer meat I've ever had, and it wasn't close. The back strap, the fish, the inner tenderloin, awful, and it just stress absolutely. Like I believe it 1,000% now, because that deer was just, there was nothing about that deer that, I mean, burger.
Make it turn
you
into
make
jerky.
burger.
Yeah.
So, which we eat a lot of burger. We keep the back straps that, we'll cook the fish right away. But,
Do you guys do you do your own jerky? Do you do your own pepper sticks? That sort of stuff.
I've made some sticks. But for us, it's just, beef burgers, $5-6 a pound, whatever it is. I don't know. We had to buy it 1 year because I only killed one deer. And it's funny because up to that point, I don't even know what that was. I was still newly married.
Yeah.
5-6 years, and you get the heat for how much you hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Killed one deer. We were out of deer meat by Christmas. We're buying red meat. And I went to a store to buy a burger for dinner one night, and I was like, $5, whatever it was. Like, you're not getting me.
Yeah.
I went to the next store, and it was 25 cents more. I'm like, is this what people pay?
Yeah.
And so we had to buy beef that winter. And then, like, the next year, it was funny how we went from
You're hunting too much
to, like, wake up, it's raining. I go back to bed, and when I get up, I'm having to answer why I'm not sitting in a tree.
Yeah.
Because look outside. Well, we need deer meat.
Pack a lunch, Justin. It's time to go to work.
That's when things shifted.
Yeah.
For me, and especially with the kids, growing old or, growing up a little bit, like, I'm going to spend money on hunting regardless. So you might as well be saving $5 a pound at it, So we eat a lot of burger. If we have a lot left over, I've made sticks and stuff like that. I hate paying for it. So I'll try to do stuff myself.
That's us.
Have made some good stuff and have made some stuff that it just,
Don't need to make again.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's a lot of work to go through that's why the stuff's so expensive. You got the material, but then doing it's a lot of work.
It's just like hunting. If you got a buddy to do it with you,
Yeah.
it's part of the fun.
Yeah.
It's part of the story. It's part of the journey. So we don't just enjoy hunting together, but we enjoy butchering together. We enjoy, grinding meat, turning it into something. And, we got more stories from the butcher shop than we do probably from, sitting in the stands. I don't know about you.
I was gonna say we've been hunting hard this year, and we get home, we're tired, so there hasn't been as much of that. So yeah, you got to embrace the butchering and the little stuff more and more as you get older.
Yeah, I enjoy the butchering. I mean, last year we had gotten 5 think I only killed 2. The girls, yeah, Lily got 2 and Addie got 1. Addie got her first deer. I mean, it was a good fall, but I enjoy butchering them. I got to the 5th one last year, and I was, you know what?
Been there, done that.
Yeah, it was fun the first 4 times. I think next year I got so many in me, and then somebody else is gonna.
Yeah, I mean, I know there are guys out there like us that we hunt pretty hard and we have success every year. And, you know, we've got meat in the freezer. There are a lot of guys that are out there that are like that. And there's also a lot of guys out there that they don't have success. And it comes down to, like you said, if you've got a good hunting spot, you're going to have success and you're going to enjoy it. If you don't, you know, a lot of people hang it up or don't want to sit out in the cold. Why sit in the cold all day if you're not going to see any deer?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I mean, we usually have success. And so, like this time of year, you know, we're getting the bow out. We're starting to shoot the bow. We were just talking about that when we're getting before setting up here to record. So probably going to get serious about that. Checking some trail cameras. We got cameras up. You know, we got a little bit of work to do on our cabin that we got scheduled. We got a busy next month or so.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. But I didn't know what your summer schedule looked like as far as, you know, getting ready for hunting season, or, you know, when you got somebody to do it with you, it makes it a difference, you know, versus going out and trying to make it happen on your own.
Yeah, I like to shoot. I do need to go and get some stands, kind of unstrap and restrap stuff, because I did go to get in the stand last fall. And luckily it was an afternoon, but I went to get up and I got up and one of my sticks was
Just not
broke
right.
in half because it just, you know, I guess the tree grew or whatever, and finally it gave in and snapped. So
Yeah.
it's like, that's a lucky lesson reminder, you know, got to check those things yearly. And so I got to do some of that. But the summer I played in an old man baseball league, 28 and over. So like that's Sundays, and that takes up a fair amount of, you know, weekends and
Time
stuff.
and energy.
Yeah, that definitely sucks up a lot of, you know, we don't do a lot of vacation stuff. My dad has a place down in Rehoboth, and he's got a boat, and, you know, he goes out in the ocean and catches flounder, mahi. I mean, he gets here in a month, he'll be getting into some mahi. We need to find a way to get down there. You know, that weekend the girls go out, and, you know, that's a good time. But as far as hunting, I try not to get too keyed up too early, because then it's just, you're almost worn out until it gets there. Like you
That's
said,
what happens every year. Yeah.
the anticipation, and that's the anticipation and the recapping and everything. That is like, that's it. You go on a big trip, you think about it all summer, you're jacked up and you're excited about it, and then you go on the trip, and a lot of times it's almost a letdown in a way, unless it's fantastic. Because all summer you didn't think about, when you pictured it, you weren't thinking about the temperatures being too hot.
Right.
Or the corn not being cut yet, or whatever, you know, so the deer aren't moving. It rain. You don't think about that possibility. There's a big buck coming across a ridge every time you think about it. And then after the season, you think back of all the good things. You know, I had probably 4 or 5 really good days of turkey hunting this season. That's it. The other days, a lot of them, it was like, man, you know, this was kind of a, you know, it wasn't as exciting as you'd like it to be. But you sit down and recap, like, I'm not talking about the day that I didn't hear gobble. You're talking about the good stuff. So the hunting, you know, that's, but I try not to get too keyed up too early, because then you almost wear yourself out a little bit. But I do like to shoot. I don't do it as much as I should, but that's one of those things, you know, if you can work out, you know, with a brother or a buddy or something to do it, like that's something you can get into and have fun. And this is the time of the year to start doing that.
So tell us about the techno hunt and how that works. I mean, we got to get a reservation for that.
Yeah, so I'm actually trying to find out. I do work part-time at Keck's store in archery.
Free plug for Kex.
Free plug for Keck's. Tuesday nights. I work one night a week and then some Saturdays here and there. And we have the screen in there. I haven't even shot it since I started working it. Like I never, but it's fun.
Is there a backlog though? I mean, like if I sell, do I gotta wait 3 months to get
Times of
in?
the year there is. I honestly don't know. I sent my guy a text here to see if it's running right now because it is a computer system.
Yeah.
And it is older. And so technology, especially older technology.
It's great when it works.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's a super fun thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's live video. It's you get to shoot, you get reps, you're building your muscles. It's fun to go with buddies and
Yeah.
talk smack and have a good time.
We got a group down in Hanover that, I mean, we might go down to Hanover and do some shooting, but you know, I think we might try this out. Let's find out when we can get in, and then we'll come down and you know, we can get a night away.
If it's running, we'll get because I mean. The last couple weeks, it's not like it's booked up right now.
Yeah, I mean,
when they run the league, it's booked up.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't think it's ever like booked up.
Yeah, it's time to start getting the bow out and getting the muscles moving. You're saying you've been practicing a little bit. How you feeling after shooting a little?
Well, I'm just sitting here thinking, Justin's kind of the opposite of me. He doesn't like to get all fired up. I think that's part of the most fun, but I think what's fun is sitting here pushing your buttons, getting you pumped, and then you push them back. We just getting a reaction out of each other. That makes it fun. Getting each other fired up. But yeah, I got this new product from the Sportsman Show not too long ago, and rather than a peep sight, it goes right in front of your sights. It's called an anchor sight. But you draw back and you basically line that up in a bullseye, and that just lets you know you're at the same drawback. And it's working pretty good. I had different glasses then. So now I kind of sat the bow down. Summer's been busy. So I think it was probably like a month ago I got out and shot, and it shot different. And then I shot it, I think it was Sunday. I think I ran a few arrows through it, and I started to get it locked in a little bit more. But come to find, when I draw back, I'm putting some pressure on that string. So it's pulling. So just getting my form right and just trying to perfect that craft for when the moment comes that, you only get one arrow most of the time the deer come at you, and you don't want to F that up, or else, you'll be walking back to camp an unhappy camper.
Yeah.
So just trying to get more practice in, and we're busy, but archery season's going to be here before we know it, and we got to get our reps in. And personally, I want to get more comfortable with that 30 to 40 yard range. I'm super comfortable with 20 yards, but I just want to be able to have that opportunity when it comes rather than having to wait.
Yeah, you have to be prepared, especially bow hunting. If you're going to bow hunt, you have to be willing to be responsible to be prepared. I mean, it's really hard. It's easy, but it's not. I mean, it's really, really hard to make everything go right, and you can be as prepared as you want to be, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go right, but you got to put yourself there, and that's the downside to working at the cool side of working at bow shops. I get to play with bows and I get to, do all this stuff. But the downside is there's just time, people come in like the week of, and they're trying to do stuff they should have been doing 2 months ago. And it's as a hunter that cares about hunting and the portrayal of hunting and us, I want my great grandkids to be able to do it. And as, we move on, there's more and more people that want to take it from us, and you got to be responsible stewards of it. And so it's disappointing, at times to hear some of the stuff that we hear at the bow shop.
Oh, I'm sure. I know, like last year, I got out pretty early, and I was seeing some deer, and I got a shot off at a doe, and I hit her low, and so like you said, you can be prepared, you can be ready, and it just still doesn't always happen. So I hit her low in the front. We think we hit her in the front leg.
Mm-hmm.
We went out, man. We tracked. You came out next day, and we tracked her for forever, And phone's ringing. We're gonna take callers. First caller on the show. But anyway, I was sick to my stomach because we didn't recover her, and I'm confident she lived, but she's walking with a limp.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sick,
Yeah.
And so I remember I went down to the shop because I had a crossbow sitting on a shelf that I ain't shot in years, and I said, well, let's get this thing tuned in and get a scope on it and get some new bolts and everything and do the work. And that's not the time of year you want to be going into the bow shop,
Yeah.
and during archery season. Mm-hmm. But I was so mad at myself. I didn't want to use my compound. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm sure you hear some stories.
It's a tough thing. I mean, I think, anybody that hunts, there's, stretches where everything goes right. And, I can remember one year it was just like, man, just couldn't do anything right. And I mean, you hold a little low because they think they're going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't move. And then the next one, I swore I'm never going to hold low again. You hold true, she drops. And it's just like, it's the worst. It's the worst. And deer are resilient. They're very tough, and it's easy to say, oh, they're going to make it. And they don't always, but it's nature. They're going to get used up by something, and you can't. I think it should bother you a little bit.
If it doesn't bother you, there's something wrong with you. You shouldn't be. I don't know. I think you touched on it earlier, Justin, when you said, like, hunters, guys like us that go out and we hunt for meat. It is a sport, but we're making use of the animal that we're harvesting. We do more for conservation than anybody.
Yeah.
And it's like seeing that deer along the field that's just not, got hit by a car or whatever. You don't want to see them suffer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if it didn't bother you, there's something wrong between your ears.
Yeah, and it should be used to try everything you can, not let it happen again. And your case was okay. I'm going to get the crossbow, set up, and I mean, whatever. That's a debate in itself, right? Yeah. And there's 15 episodes there. And hate mail for. I've gotten to the point where I don't care as long as if there's people, if you're being responsible and you're doing things the right way, just don't, just be doing it the right way. Okay. I've got a buddy that uses one. He's not confident with his compound.
Right.
He's not confident. And whatever you got to do to be lethal out there, go do it. He's not shooting 50 yards. Yep. He's not shooting 60 yards. And that's one thing. You can sit on your picnic table and you can put, 3 bolts in a softball at 80 yards. But guess what? You're not getting that picnic table up into your tree stand.
Right.
B,
point of impacts.
You can't control anything about what that deer does. There's so much to it. If a deer can duck an arrow at 18 yards, they certainly can duck a bolt at 60. So it's like there's a responsibility there, I think. And as long as you're doing what you can to be the most lethal.
Sure.
Quick, humane thing.
I've been the anti-crossbow guy. Like, that was me. I'm the guy that's still using my compound when everybody else has gone to, using bolts and crossbows and stuff. Last year, like I said, I was sick over that deer, that one bad experience. And so I wasn't going to quit hunting in early October.
Yeah.
So I made the decision, and, we had a successful year, because of it. Now I could have just gave up, but I'm with you. As long as you're doing what you got to do to be lethal, and you do the best you can to try to have a clean harvest. What else can you ask from somebody? So
I think responsibility is a great word for it. Just knowing your limits and knowing how you can best use your tools as you feel comfortable with. Don't stretch to shoot further than what you want, because so you're only going to make mistakes, and You know, you might miss, you might get that deer, but most of the time, you know, you're going to hit it where you're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's not like you have to be using a crossbow to shoot at a deer farther than you should. I mean, it's a compound. People do it too, and I think the crossbow for some reason more feeling like a gun makes you, it seems like it makes people think more that, just I've gotten to the point where I have a hard time taking a shot at 35 yards. I mean, 35 yards with my compound. I've had deer and been back, and like, I just don't.
That's
I
about the
don't
limit, right?
I don't feel. I used to shoot deer at 40. I used to shoot deer at 40 and not think twice about it. But now, I had a nice buck on state land a few years ago, and I don't see nice buck.
Mm-hmm.
Been the easiest thing in the world to 34 yards. But that was the same year that I had hit the first two deer in probably 8 years.
Right.
It was the first deer that I didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
And, low leg and then high through the back straps, and I know the first one made it because I saw her 2 years later, and she absolutely had a limp. She had fallen, so that was cool.
Yeah.
But like that same year, and that buck standing at 34 broadside, it didn't feel right. So you let down, and it's like you kick yourself in the butt. But the feeling to say, I don't know if I can, but I think I can, and then cutting it loose, that's a dangerous thing.
Listen, there's the feeling of when you get it wrong, like in my story, where it doesn't, and you can do everything right and it still go wrong.
Yep, absolutely.
But rifle hunting to archery hunting, when it does go right,
Yeah.
when you hear that thwack,
Mm-hmm.
and you got the double lung,
Yep.
and you see them tip over before they're out of sight. There's nothing like that feeling either, and that's why we do it. Like, that's when you get amped up, and it's like, I'm calling my buddy, even though I'm not supposed to kiss and tell.
Help me drag.
Yeah.
I need you to get up here and help me drag this
Bring me
deer out.
Mountain Dews.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. But, I guess the moral of the story, we're rabbit trailing a little bit, but it's that time of year. It's time to get the stick and string out. And I'd rather hunt with stick and string than hunt with a gun any day. One, it's not as cold.
Yeah.
It's nicer. Two, there's not as many other hunters in the
Better
in the
chance of
forest
seeing
more
stuff.
time. And
Yeah.
man, I love that time of year. The trees are falling, and the leaves are falling, and the trees are changing color and that sort of thing. And there's nothing like it. So very good, man. Well, I appreciate you hanging out with us for a little bit tonight, sharing some stories and taking us down memory lane.
It's nice to relive it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you were getting Hollywood psyched up. Like you said, he likes to get excited, and having somebody telling some successful hunting stories, sending those videos and texts over. That's what we need. That's the hunting community piece that we're all about, and certainly appreciate your contributions to this.
It's I feel lucky to be able to do it. I'm glad that I was raised, where I was raised, how I was raised, and thankful.
Yeah, and you're passing it along too.
Trying to.
Well, listen, folks, if you're out there and you need a garage door, go to Interstate Garage Doors, and then tell them the Tracks and Tackle. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the call. I'm waiting for the call to say Tracks and Tackle sent me.
So you guys have sponsored us, basically since springtime when we came on last time, and we were just talking before we went on the air here. We've had a couple of close calls. We're trying to get that sale for Interstate. So.
Guaranteed, there's somebody out there that just right now is in their bedroom that is above their garage, and it's just so warm in the bedroom.
Right.
Winter it gets so cold in there. I got your fix, man. We get you a decent door in there. It's quieter. It doesn't sound like Chainsaw Massacre down there when everybody's getting up to go to work. It helps you keep your attached areas more temperature controlled. It's an investment that you'll be extremely happy about.
pays off, increases the resale value of your property.
Yep.
All
Use
the
it every
above.
day. That's how you get in and out of your house most cases, right?
These are the things we take for granted.
Yep.
So, man, we really appreciate you guys, supporting us, and personally appreciate you coming out and just spending the evening with us, talking stories, talking shop, and
My pleasure.
let's try to get together and do some shooting.
Yeah, I'll find out
if we
about
can.
the techno hunt. We'll have to do we'll have to get you a little mini clip of some kind of a techno hunt competition
Yeah,
here.
yeah, sounds great.
See
Sounds
what
great.
Hollywood's got.
Well, he's got that contraption that with the farm show special that he's
I don't know how that's going to work inside.
No,
don't know.
you don't need. I'll show you.
You'll
Don't worry,
see. We'll
be
send a
there.
picture.
But yeah, I took it to that shop in Hanover, and they both looked at it and looked at each other. Farm show special. So I'm sure there's a lot of that going around because a lot of out of state stuff and hopefully like new and innovative.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm excited.
He's going to go out. He's going to kill a deer with it this year. He's going to be the biggest salesman for this product.
Pro staff, man.
Yeah.
Be on the pro staff next year. We'll be going on his podcast.
That's it. That's it. Well, listen, thanks for tuning in to Tracks and Tackle. If you like what you hear, give us a 5-star review. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you find your social content. We'll get some more interesting guests to come in here, but over the next few weeks, we've got a busy schedule. So got a couple of folks lined up. We'll be tuning in here very soon. Appreciate Justin Barrick for taking a little bit of time and talking turkey, deer hunting, etc. with us, all the above. So until next time, stay wild, folks.